When you notice something, what do you do with your arms? Show me. Hold that idea. Oh, I've noticed something. And then if you notice two things, what do? Hold up two fingers. And if you notice three things, what do?
Hold up
Three fingers, exactly. So we're going to keep our ideas to ourselves. We're going to hold them, and then we're going to start counting. Oh, I noticed three things maybe. You ready? Arms down, ready? You see, everybody has at least one thing that you've noticed. Now I want you to quietly, you're going to tell a friend next to you something that you noticed, and it goes like this. Ready? You start with, I noticed. What are the words?
I noticed.
So for example, if you were my friend, I might say, I noticed, maybe I noticed a color. Maybe I noticed a shape. Maybe I noticed something like that, okay? So I might say, I noticed. Well, whatever you noticed is fine. There's no wrong things to notice. And you can tell more than one person something you noticed, and then they're going to say, I noticed. And you have about 20 seconds to notice back and forth, okay? So go ahead, tell the person next to you something you noticed. I noticed. You noticed light green? So I've heard that people have noticed colors so far, like blue and green, and you noticed some circles. Are you talking about these circles here, this bumpy texture of circles? So you noticed something that you thought looks a little like snakes to you. What I hear some of you doing is you're wondering about what the artist meant with this art. Did they really want that to look like water? Or were they just putting down shapes and colors and they didn't mean for it to look like water? But our brains are so good at imagining things that we see things. I had one person think that this sort of looked like a face. Do you think the artist wanted it to look like a face? Maybe, maybe not. But some people thought those looked like eyes, even though you thought they looked like a tree or leaves or something else. And maybe the artist just wanted them to be shapes and colors, and they didn't want it to look like anything. I have a fancy word for you. Can I teach you a fancy word? When an artist doesn't want it to look like anything, they just want it to be shapes and colors, and it isn't supposed to look like something from the real world. Here's the word. Abstract. You say it. Abstract. If it doesn't look like something, or it wasn't meant to look like something, it's abstract. At least that's what the artist meant. They didn't want it to look like something. They just wanted it to be colors and shapes. How many people might wonder something? Are you ready? So I'm showing you again. You noticed before, but I'm curious if anybody's holding their arms showing me that they're wondering something. And I see about half of you so far are wondering something. I'm just curious. You have your arms crossed, sir. What are you wondering? You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing people really keeping their hands to themselves, basket hands. I'm seeing people not touching each other. You're going to learn a method, and I even have a poster, and it's called the agreement method. Those big words at the top of that poster say the agreement method. What's it called? The agreement method. It's a way of coming up with ideas and then agreeing on them with somebody else, like you, Jackson, okay? So the first thing, you've actually practiced this. Remember what we did on the carpet? We held our idea. Number one says silent, and it says hold your idea. Because you have a bunch of decisions to make. You're going to make two of them and then stop when you're at your table, and they're listed right here. Now they have a lot of words on here, so I want to read them to you so that you know what number one says. Number one says paper color. Can you see that? Paper. You know how to read? Does that say paper color? Yeah. The first one is called paper color. What's it called?
Paper color.
Now I'm going to reach in here, and Jackson and I are going to be partners in this project, and we're going to see some paper colors like yellow or blue or something like that. I don't know what paper colors are in here, but when I put them out, he's not going to say anything, and I'm not going to say anything, and you're not going to say anything. Ready? Now, I'm going to decide what color I think would be good for our project, and you do the same. And when you do that, when you have an idea in your head, can you cross your arms saying, I have that idea, I'm ready. I have my idea, and I'm waiting to see if you have your idea. Cross your arms if you know which one you want. Now here's what we do next. Point to number two, it says share your idea, and that's, do you notice the arms are open for that? We say, I think we could. What do we say?
I think we could.
I think we could. So I'm going to do this. I'm gonna let you go first, and you're gonna show them how you're gonna open your arms, and you're gonna say, I think we could use red or green, okay? So which one? Go ahead, you go first. Open your arms, let your idea out, and say those words.
I think we could use green.
Okay, could you do that one more time and open your arms as you do it? I think we could use green, just like that.
I think we should use green.
Wow, really well done. Didn't he go do a good job on that? So now let me try. I'm looking, I'm thinking. I think we could use red. Uh-oh, we have different ideas, don't we? Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay to have different ideas. So we move on to number 3. And number 3 is called reason. What's it called? Reason. And here's where we say why our choice is a good one. So I'm going to start. Is this okay, Jackson? I'm going to start. I'm going to say, I think red is a good idea because it's a warm color. It kind of warms me up on a cold day. Now it's your turn. I think green is a good choice because do you have your, it reminds you of leaves. You know what? I think I'm ready to move on to number 4. The thumbs up is compromise. Big word. It basically means I can live with something. Should we stop right now and argue for the rest of the time, or move on and get our project done? Yeah, let's get this done. So I think the strong choice right now is for me, sit up straight. I think the strong choice for me is maybe I'm gonna say, you know what, Jackson? I can live with green. I was thinking red, but I can live with green. Do you hear the words I used? What did I say? I can live with. Those 4 words are the way that I can give up my idea for the good of the project. Was that a strong choice that I made?
Yeah.
I made a strong choice to say, you know what, for this project, I'm gonna let go of my idea and go with your idea. All right? So I can live with green. We're ready for the second choice. Is anybody in here a good reader? It says pen color. What's number 2 say? Pen color. So number 2 is pen color. We're done with the paper color, so I can put that away. And I'm gonna grab pen colors out. Are we gonna say anything?
No.
When we have an idea, what do we do with our arms? Cross them, exactly. Here we go. You go first.
I think we should use black.
Okay, and now is my turn. I was really looking at the orange. I think we could use orange, so we disagreed again. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay to disagree, but we should probably give our reasons. So I think orange might look really interesting next to the green. What's your reason? You might not have a reason.
It's cool.
You really don't think it's a cool color? All right, it's time, since we didn't agree, to move on to I can live with. Could you live with orange?
Yeah.
You could?
No.
No? You really are stuck on the black? It's not that big. Is this a life or death decision for me? Does it really matter to me?
No.
Not really. So I can live with black, okay? I'm gonna live with black again. All right, so I'm gonna put this one away, and at that point, we're gonna stop. Once you and your partner have a paper color and a pen color, what do? Stop. Put everything else back, and then we're gonna wait until everybody gets to that stage before we move on to the next, okay? Paper color, pen color, what do we choose?
Paper color, pen color.
And then we stop. Okay, paper color, pen color. We use the process. When you have your idea, what do? Cross your arms. How do you let your idea out? You open your arms and you say, I think we could use. 2 partners, you may start, paper color. You may start, paper color. There, and we chose green with a black marker. Number 3 says ends of lines, and I put a little picture here that shows 2 dots. Watch on the screen as Jackson and I show you how to do ends of line. Jackson thinks that it would be a good idea to have a dot right there for our line, okay? I'm okay with that. I could live with that as our end of a line. And I think the other end of the line maybe should be sliding my paper over just a little bit so you can see it. I think maybe up here on the edge of the paper might be a good end of the line.
Why?
Do you want to change your mind? Do you want to move your end of the line anywhere? No? Oh, you want to go to the edge now? I think I'm going to move mine down a little bit. Are we both happy? When we're both happy, let's move it up so everybody can see where your finger is. It's right down there. So I'm going to put a little dot where yours is. Would you put a dot where my finger is? Go ahead, Jackson. Would you put a dot where my finger is right over here?
No, not yet.
Good. Can you see our 2 dots?
Yeah.
We just did ends of lines. Ends of lines. Now for our first line type, we're going to do a straight line, and the best way to do a straight line is with a ruler. Now, when you do a ruler, it's best to do it with a friend. Jackson, do you want to draw or hold the ruler? Which way do you want to do it? Okay, then I'm going to hold the ruler, so I'm going to put this end on this dot and this end on this dot, and now Jackson's going to draw as I hold it down really hard so it won't move. And he stops on the ends of the lines. And that's a straight line. Now, what if Jackson had drawn and slipped a little? Would I say, Jackson, you messed up our whole artwork? Or would I say, that's okay? Which one would I say? That's okay. If somebody slips a little and makes a mistake, that's okay. It's not a big deal. So Jackson's putting the cap on the pen, and we've drawn our straight line. We worked together to figure out where the ends should be. He picked one with his finger, I picked one with my finger. We decided who would hold and who would draw. That's what I want you to do now. Straight line. In the air, put your finger in the air, and I want you to draw like an S shape in the air. Just back and forth, wavy line like water. Back and forth, wavy line like water. That's called a wavy line. So we're going to try wavy line. Watch how Jackson and I do it. He's going to pick an end point. I'm going to pick an end point. And then we're going to see who wants to draw wavy line. Can I put a dot there? All right. So we're going to have one end point right there. And I think the other end point could be right. I think it could be right there. Could you put a dot for me up here so that I know where my end point's going to be? Now we know where the line is going to start and end. And we're going to do wavy line. Jackson, do you want to draw a wavy line or should I draw a wavy line? I'll draw a wavy line. I'm going to practice with my finger first. I'm going to go wavy line, wavy line. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to do wavy line like that. So I did a wavy line that started and ended where we wanted our endpoints to be. Could you guys do the same thing?
Yeah.
Endpoints. Okay, and who's going to do a wavy line? Next one's zigzag line. Now zigzag is kind of like wavy, except you make straight lines in between them. It looks like this. Ready? Zigzag, zigzag. Straight lines up and down, zigzag. Show me that you can do zigzag lines. Good. You don't have to do a lot of them. You can just do 3 zigzags. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. You don't have to do a million zigzags, okay? So we're going to do zigzag line from there to there. It doesn't have to have a million zigzags. It could have 3 or 4. It doesn't need to have a lot. Do you want to draw this time or do you want me to draw? It's up to you. You'll draw. I'll hold the paper so that I can be helpful. Practice with your finger first, like zigzag. Nice big ones. They don't have to be tiny. There you go. Yep, nice big ones. You don't need a lot, and you're going to end right up. And Jackson's going to go big zig, little zag, up for a zig, down for a zag. There we go. And you've got to get all the way over here. Now, what if he misses his end point by a little bit? Am I going to say, Jackson, you messed up, or am I going to say, that's okay?
That's okay.
Exactly. So now we have a zigzag line from the start to the end.
You almost did the same as us.
Now I want to show you something that I showed you at the start of this lesson and see if you can recognize that you're like halfway to these artworks. Can you see a straight line? Can you see a curved line? Can you see a zigzag line in these?
Zigzag.
So these have straight, they have curvy. I'll show them to you if you didn't see them. Curvy, zigzag, and straight. Does this one have it too?
No.
Straight, curvy, zigzag. Okay, so they're all here, but you might not have noticed that you're getting there as well. How many lines were we going to make?
5.
And how many have you made?
4.
3. You've made straight, you've made wavy, and you've made zigzag. You know what? I think that you guys could probably decide the last couple lines. Here's how it's going to go.
No.
You have straight, you have zigzag, you have wavy. Have you ever done a curvy line? Let me show you curvy. It's an extra one that's kind of a freebie. Put your finger in the air. Put your finger in the air. Finger in the air. Just make a curve. It goes like this. It's just like an arc, just like a curve. Like a C, actually. Curvy starts with C. So if you just make a simple C, that's a curvy line. So you can make a curvy line. What if you really, really liked using the ruler and you want to make another straight line? Could you guys decide to do that? Yeah. What if you want to make another zigzag? Could you make another zigzag?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give you choice time, and here's how I want you to do choice time. You and your partner are both thinking of a line. You go like this. What do? And then you say, I think we could use zigzag, or I think we could use curvy, or I think we could use wavy. And you share your idea and you talk about it, and when you agree, you draw 2 more lines. V-shape? It's a good line. Do you agree? Can you do the curvy? Jackson and I have done our 5 lines. How many lines? 5. We're going to write our names on the back in pencil. Jackson, Mr. Funkhauser. We're going to take the pen. Where do we put the pen, Jackson?
Write it
In
with
the
pencil,
envelope.
not the pen.
Where do we put the ruler, Jackson? In the envelope. So we're going to put everything back except for the artwork where we put our names.